Alright guys, it's time to check out the brand new Overwatch patch notes, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on it, but let's get started, man. The new season's out, and I believe the new heroes are actually available to be played. I'm really only interested in checking out the patch notes that matter. I don't really care too much about, like, fixed bugs or whatever they're doing. I just want to see what, like, you know, what are the buffs and the nerfs. So for starters, we got Diva. The Matrix duration got reduced. Okay, that's fine. I think that is, like, a reasonable thing. It's a small little, like, nerf, but, I mean, overall, it does make the character a little bit less potent. Then we have Orisa. We got impact damage increased by 20. Maybe this to offset the bonuses of the health, but yeah, this thing is going to be a little bit better now, so that's cool. I mean, these aren't like drastic changes. Zarya, the secondary fire minimum damage got increased to 55, and the secondary maximum damage got increased from 95 to 110. So I guess that's kind of good. I mean, even with 2 shots, it's still going to be like 220, so you still wouldn't like one-shot a lot of the, or 2-shot, so to speak, most of the roster, but at least there's a small buff to Zarya. As far as that's it for the tanks. I was actually expecting them to kind of nerf the tanks after they got all those buffs, but I still think that there's probably a problem with the queue time in tanks. Like, even if you queue up as, like, flex, like, you queue up all of them, you're still going to get tanked 9 times out of 10. So, like, it's probably because people just don't want to play tanks, so they're not, like, reverting all the crazy buffs that they got previously, like the Doomfist, like, shield duration, and a lot of just other nicer things. Like, Darkwing still seems pretty good. That's probably all I'm going to be playing unless that's it. That is the only tank changes. Okay. So next up we have Echo. Developer, no additional adjustments to support the reduced health pool as like Pharah. Oh, okay. As one of the top performing damage heroes recently. So the base health got reduced. So instead of 250, you now have 225. So hopefully you can eliminate those targets a little bit easier. Hanzo actually got his base health also reduced. So that's going to be very interesting. We're removing... Oh, wait. Hold on. Hanzo didn't quite fit the category of being as highly as mobile as other heroes. We're moving to 225 HP, but like Widowmaker has the potential long-range lethality merits as he is now able to one-shot 225 HP heroes. It's nice for the Hanzo mirror match to be more decisive as well. So you can still one-shot with Hanzo. Now, if they don't change the size of the hitbox, I think Hanzo is just going to be like really good. I can't wait to actually play Hanzo later tonight. That's actually the thing that I'm most excited about, is playing Hanzo, because he couldn't one-shot, he definitely became a lot worse. But now I guess we can one-shot Echo, we can one-shot Hanzo, and maybe Junkrat too? Oh, no. Okay. So the projectile size is now reduced by half after the second ricochet. Was Junkrat performing too good? That's crazy. They're nerfing Junkrat. Projectiles preserve slightly more velocity on ricochet. So I'm guessing that means they still get to maintain some speed versus slowing down. I'll have to wait and see. Like, it's so weird that Junkrat's never been really like an S tier, like uber super overpowered character. It's just sometimes when he would left click you and then, you know, throw the mine, pop it in your face, it kind of felt bad to die to. But usually if that was happening, you're within like really close range anyways, right? But nonetheless, that's a very strange nerf. I didn't think Junkrat was like performing like too well in the game, so that's a very strange thing. Sojourn over here. The railgun, the primary fire weapon spread got reduced from 2 to 1.6, so this would be a buff, right? Critical hits now grant 10 energy. I don't really know what the number it was before. I'm assuming this is a buff because it wasn't at 5. Is this like double? Like, wait, hold on. This might be actually busted. Okay, so she might be the best character in the game now. An energy degeneration rate reduced from 33 to 15 per second after 7 seconds. So reduced from 33 to 15, so you get to maintain more than half of the charge because it's going to degen, right? Now, I don't know if that really matters that much, but I'm just thinking more along the lines of, like, you get double. I think this is double. Again, I'd have to go in and test this out. We're going to play later tonight. But this just seems like crazy if this is, like, doubled. This doubled, and then, again, this got cut less than half, and this is good. Like, these are triple buffs. All right, Sombra over here, the base health got reduced, and then the virus damage got increased by 10, whatever. Bonus movement in stealth got increased. Okay, that's pretty cool. At least there's a buff and a nerf. I like it when they buff a character and then they nerf it. So that way, like, it's like, oh, okay, I'll try it out, you know, versus just, like, straight up a nerf, and then you're like, oh, I don't want to play the character anymore. But that's going to be interesting to see if that really makes a difference. It probably won't really make that much of a difference. I just like the Hanzo change, honestly. Torb is now 225. Oh, but the base armor got increased. So that means that means he's better, right? I think that means he's better. Unless that just means that, like, they converted health to armor versus just... This is base armor. I'll have to wait and see if this means that he just gained... Because if he lost 25 health but gained 25 armor, that's a win. But I'm guessing it's a nerf. I'm guessing. Okay, the shift in armor is to increase survivability against the heroes which are most affected by armor's damage reduction, such as Tracer. Oh, okay. I'm assuming that's a, I guess it's a buff and a nerf in some ways. Again, I'll have to wait and see if what they actually mean. Obviously, we get the new hero, but Alari, her solar rifle maximum ammo got decreased. That's not really that big a deal. Projectile environmental collision size reduced. So that means it's like less AoE. So I guess it's like maybe a small nerf. But like this doesn't really make the hero unplayable. What would actually make the hero like a lot worse is like the pylon having a way longer cooldown. I still think Alari is absolutely like one of the best characters in the game. They didn't change map either, right? Okay. And then Juno, you know, I actually played Juno and I thought she was like relatively decently balanced. Like she wasn't super OP, she wasn't super terrible. It's just kind of like, okay, she exists, she's a new hero, people will play her, people will probably really like her because she's like space themed. But as far as her being like viable, I mean, she just got a nerf over here. She's available for competitive too. I love that change because you can play it day one. But the base health getting reduced, that's obviously a nerf. The burst projectile volley rate got reduced from 34 to 20. So that's a nerf, right? Burst volley rate. I'll have to wait and see. Got reduced because sometimes when they reduce the burst, that means it's actually a DPS increase, or is this like it says rate of fire from 34 to 28? So I guess that would actually make the shots more accurate because if the burst is like less, it's gonna have less of a kick up, right? Again, some of these stuff you're gonna have to like see it visually, but pulsar torpedoes, the damage and healing impact got increased from 75 to 85, so that's a buff, and the heal over time got reduced, so you lose 10 but you gain 15, so it's like whatever. Hyper ring, the deploy range got increased, so you can put it out further, and the cooldown actually got reduced, so okay, I didn't really feel like this was like super OP or anything. Anyway, the beam travel speed got increased. This is probably a good thing, so overall she's still relatively the same. There's not like drastic changes, but like her ultimate, I don't know, I never felt like it was super OP, because it's just so dang slow. So maybe it'll actually be a lot better now. And Kiriko, this actually matters. So developer comment, despite the perception of how powerful Kiriko feels to play against, she's a hero that consistently underperforms when it comes to winning games. It's because you don't want to know why. I promise you this is actually why. So when players that are really bad at certain characters and they go try to play something that requires like aim like Bap or Ana, it's like specifically like the Mercy Moira players, they go swap to Kiriko because they're losing, or that people ask, can you play Kiriko, because they're feeding like 0 and 10 on like Alari or whatever, because they're just like, oh, Alari must be good because everyone's playing her, but like they don't have the skill sets, and then they swap to Kiriko and lose the game anyways because they swapped way too late. And that's probably what's causing this, because Kiriko is 100% like one of the best heroes in the game. Kiriko and Ana have absolutely dominated the pool as far as like at high rank play. I know, I understand Bap and Alari are very good as well, but like this character is like so overpowered still. She's slightly evasive here. That sense, okay, so they reduced her health, that's good. Critical hit multiplier got reduced, and then the damage got increased. Wait, but okay, so if you reduce the multiplier here, but then you increase the damage, then the damage will then still get multiplied times 2. Wait, is that, I'm guessing that's still overall a nerf to the headshot damage, right? But like, even if you, again, if you increase the base damage, then the multiplier of it being lower wouldn't matter because the number got increased. Like I said, I'm gonna have to test out a game. From what I can tell, maybe that doesn't even make that much of a difference. The recovery time got increased. Oh, so she's gonna be able to shoot less. That's good. But like, I don't know. I feel like the Suzu thing is just like way too OP. I think that it can remove the debuff, but it shouldn't like heal the character also, based off of like, you know, if it removes like the cleanse. I think that skill is just way too crazy. Like, the fact that it can AoE, it's just way too much, to be honest. Alright, let's see what Lifeweaver's gotten for his change. Healing can now charge passively at a reduced rate. Oh, so you don't have to hold down the button? That's the ability, right? No longer reduces movement speed. I felt like this character was always pretty like, mediocre. If you put a good player in the game, they're just going to be playing Bap, Anakiri, Alari. Those are just much better characters. So, like, this buff is like, whatever. Like, it's really hard to make really insane plays with this character. And then the duration got increased on the platform. Platform now resets if no one's standing up. That's actually a really good change. And the health got reduced, and then the healing got reduced on the dash. Overall, like, I guess there's some buffs and some nerfs here. Again, I like that they buff and nerf, but like, do I think Lifeweaver is like, oh, godly now, or like super bad? And it's like, whatever. It probably doesn't really matter. Mercy, all right. The base health got reduced, good. Reduced the health even more, man. Primary fire healing increased, so you get 5 extra HP, and the secondary fire damage boost got increased. So there's a buff and a nerf to it. I mean, I like this change because I can just walk up to her and probably eliminate her a little bit easier here. Moira, all the base health, and then her secondary fire. Wait, she gets more DPS. Why would they encourage that? There's already, you know, everyone always complains about DPS Moira, and then now it's like, okay, but I don't really know if this makes that much of a difference, because the thing that makes Moira so good is that fade cooldown. You change that thing, and that would actually nerf the character, but whatever on that. And then we have Lucio. The base health got reduced, thank God. And then I just want, dude, all the supports can go to 200, to be honest. And the reason why I think 200 is fine, it's really hard as someone that's reached Grandmasters in every single role. It's so hard to confirm a kill on a support, especially because the playstyle of them kind of definitely changes in the higher ranks, because they're actually going to be sitting back where they, you know, should play. They shouldn't be up close with the same amount of HP and recovery, and especially since, like, Bap can just throw down Immortality, right, or activate a heal while he's shooting you, then he has basically the same DPS, if not more than Soldier, if he's landing all of his shots, which is super hard to do at far range, but up close, it's okay. I'm surprised we see Bap nerfed too. Okay, I hope Bap gets nerfed. The base health got reduced, but then he gets more damage. So, like, what do they do? They want you to be more DPS, but I guess now you might be able to eliminate the Lucy before he pushes you off. But all right, quality of life updates. Oh, the Meta Blaster visual. Okay, these are like sounds and stuff. Is that all they're doing? Okay, so that's the change, guys. You know, overall, I was expecting to see a lot more drastic changes, but the fact that they reduced Lucio, Moira, Mercy, Life Weaver didn't get a change on HP. Kiriko, I think Kiriko should have been 200, like 100%. Kiriko could be like a 175 or something like that. The reason why is, like, it's incredibly hard to hit her. Her hitbox is incredibly small. But overall, the biggest winner off this patch is probably Hanzo, considering he can, like, you know, Soldier, as well as Creed, like, they can't be one-shotted, but, like, at least Hanzo has a couple things that he can one-shot now, and because they didn't nerf him, I think the biggest winner is Hanzo, and the biggest loser, I don't really feel like there is, like, a biggest loser as, like, any character that just becomes unplayable. Yeah, I don't think they really did anything like that. So the biggest winner is Hanzo, the biggest loser, I mean, like, there's small little, like, losses here and there for characters, but maybe Sojourn could be one of the best characters in the game. I don't know. I just from what I remember, I thought this was 5, so going off the top of my head, if this is now doubled, I mean, yeah, it requires crit, and you have, like, less, and there's less. It's like triple only buffs for Sojourn. But anyways, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on the patch. We'll be playing it later, so, yeah. I think Hanzo. I think we're going to get some Hanzo gameplay very soon. But take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.